let's continue to the next one. So this one, I'm not gonna show the sample project running, but I do wanna discuss it. I don't know, and I would love to see everyone that is here in the meetup to tell me their experience with the value manager in XAF Blazor. Honestly, we were used to the value manager in Windows that it was using like a static variable, and we were using to the web form that was using the user sessions. And right now in Blazor is a scope, and when we logging in, the Blazor application is also a scope. So there have been some few changes there. And in some time when we expected the value manager to return a value, we have had some issues there. But I saw this ticket from the support center, and this implementation, I really like it about that Gosha provide. Basically, we create a service that it will have a dictionary with a username and any value that we want to pass. And then we register that as a singleton. So yeah, everyone will get an instance of that service. Everyone will get an instance of that dictionary, but only the current user will access his key with the username and get his value. So that's a simple workaround, but I think that we have like, this is, in my opinion, really nice. And I have honestly changed to this implementation for a lot of things. I remember, Jose, when we did the example of changing database and runtime before the official example came up, and we had an issue with that value manager in the logging in when we come back. So at the end, we have to create a cookie and put it on the.
And that's not the only case, Javier. Also, we have one case when we implemented a middleware because I was working with the people from Developer Express. I don't know, I think it was Gosha who helped me for that. That we wanted to have a middleware service, and we wanted to access the value manager there also for a Quartz implementation. And they actually did, like, as always, they came out of their way to help us, and they make a great example. I don't know if that example is still valid today, because we did it in the really early days of XAF Blazor. So I wanted to take a look to that, because I remember that in the office, like in our internal chat, we were having a lot of discussions just about this case, right? So let's put something together, like, and say, like, this is how we will officially work somehow.
Okay, so now that you want to say something, Dennis?
Yeah. I think it was our fault to expose this value manager API many years ago, to be honest. And yeah, this approach with custom service is perfect. And I think we'll document it somewhere in the official documentation, because value manager is an internal API, and it may change and it changed in the past. So,
well, I'm glad that we're not crazy there then, and we're going to the right implementation, because I saw that ticket from that Gosha gave that answer, and I say I really like that implementation. We can reuse it, and we actually did a training on our thing and say, everybody, let's gonna start. This is the way to go from now on when we need to share a value that is only for that user. So yeah, thank you for that, to the support for the stress as always. It's great. And actually, Jose, you were talking about middleware. This is another example about a suffer that was asking about value manager in the middleware, and actually the answer was creating a service, app service, where we put the two properties there that we need, register that service in the as a scope on the configured service, and then when we are using our middleware, we can access that service on our constructor.
And to tell you the truth, Javier, I think that the implementation that Gosha shows and the one that we're using at the moment is actually the right way to go. The thing is that we were so spoiled by using the value manager that was so easy in Windows forms and web forms that we say, like, yeah, use value manager. We always use it. Like, if we need to pass a value from one place to another, let's do that. But I think, like, we needed to shift our thinking from that way to use dependency injection. I mean, registering a service is kind of free somehow, so we can register any service to keep the state outside of SaaS in that sense.
Yeah, exactly. And this concept is well documented by Microsoft. When you create a new Blazor application, you without XAF, you see this weather forecast service by default, and it's also in MAUI applications, and it's a well documented concept. So why to learn a new XAF API while there is a standard?
There was one case, Dennis, and is that sometimes you want to do the stuff on the same way in all the platform, because even though we don't use web forms anymore that much, we still use Windows Forms. So sometimes you need to do you wanted to have the same code for Windows Forms and the same code for Blazor. But now that we can use the dependency injection from Microsoft in Windows Forms, then with just a service, we fix all of this, I guess.
I think that what Jorge say about we were like used to do it a certain way, that's exactly right. Because one thing that it happens to us a lot as well, and this is an example, was the security system current user. We have it in a lot of criteria. So when we went to Xamarin and we went to other platforms, that was failing. And then it was just to change our thought about using the function operator, the get user ID. So we get it the same way without having to use the
security system.
Yeah, and actually, let's look for that. I always like to, when I say, what is the example? XAF, how to create it by, and we can see it right here. Right. So right here, we switched from this implementation that we had it all the time to this one. So that was also a change on what we used to do, and now we have the other coding everywhere. So I think that is also a way, like you get used to do one thing one way, and then you are a little resistant to change that little part.
Yeah, and in the next version, you also can avoid the usage of XAF types info.instance, this static property, because we will update our example to demonstrate how to write code without relying on these static options. And it's more. Oh, I see Martin Praxmar is loving it in the chat. Yeah, he was longing for it.
Yeah, he's excited about that. He has been asking for that for a while.